I mean, George Soros is described as the godfather of the left because he massively funds these progressive groups and massively contributed to the takeover of the left of this progressive mentality. But then you've got people like Sheldon Adelson who are described as the godfather of the right. You know, these people with vast amounts of money are playing the political system right against left and pushing the world in a particular direction. And the number of people involved at the core, even at the gopher level where the money is handed out, is ridiculously few.
Number 12 told those present that they must use their wealth to have candidates chosen to public office who would be obedient to their demands and would be used as pawns in the game by the men behind the scenes. The advisors will have been bred, reared, and trained from childhood to rule the affairs of the world.
It's the migrant population that are massively being subjected to the imposition of migrant gangs that are forming in places like Germany and Sweden, criminal gangs. The point is, you've got two groups of people who are coming from different cultural standpoints who are being fused together for the benefit of a tiny elite that's actually behind it all. Dividing and ruling and bringing disharmony to societies because it's so easy to manipulate chaos as opposed to harmony is the bottom line of all of it.
In 1925, a political philosopher by the name of Richard von Coudenhove-Kalergi published a book called Practical Idealism, in which he outlines his vision of a futuristic pan-European identity. Kalergi, who served as the founding president of the Pan-European Union, is commonly praised as the preliminary ideological founder of the European Union and has since been crowned the pioneer of European integration. Throughout his book, Kalergi emphasizes that the future peoples of Europe will not be the people of the old continent, but instead a new mixed breed. He suggests that the people of Europe should interbreed with Asians and other non-white races to create a multiracial population with no clear sense of tradition or identity, and that self-determinations should be broken up through separatist movements and mass migration. Fast forward the clock nearly a century later, and you'll realize that much of Kalergi's philosophy and ideology is the driving force behind numerous globalist political entities, with one of the main ones being the United Nations. In the last few decades, the United Nations has sat back and watched numerous military conflicts unfold in the Middle East, in countries such as Iraq, Libya, and Syria, and has failed to intervene time and time again. As a result of these devastating conflicts and aggressive regime changes in the Middle East, hundreds and thousands of people have been forced to flee their homes, seeking refuge from the wars which promise to bring about the very same democratic principles endorsed by the United Nations. In the last few years alone, floods of refugees and migrants from the Middle East have been spilling over into Europe and across the West, changing the identity and demographics of their host continents, just as Kalergi himself had prophesied.
George Soros. whose open society foundations have funded Black Lives Matter. And it was Soros who called during the lockdowns for the release of prisoners because of the coronavirus. It's the same George Soros who was funded into office district attorney after district attorney in America, who have then, once elected, have not imposed the law.
Notorious for collapsing economies and regimes all around the world. He's known as the man who broke the Bank of England. The Prime Minister of Malaysia called Soros an unscrupulous profiteer. In Thailand, he was branded the economic war criminal. They also said that he sucks the blood from people. In 1994, George Soros stated, quote, "Just right that the former Soviet Empire is now called the Soros Empire." So how does he view us? Well, it's easy. He views us like this. America is the main obstacle to a stable and just world order. The United States. His words, not mine. So not only does he want to bring America to her knees financially, he wants to reap obscene profits off us as well. Like when he made $1 billion off the collapse of the British sterling. His claim, not mine.
The money that I made on this particular transaction, they estimated about $1 billion.
You were the guy they said who broke the Bank of England.
Right, and
did.
well, that's true.
You control people by their focus of attention. You control people by their focus of attention.